time for Tuesday Night Live Chat with Brian S. Red and John Young. Good evening and welcome to Monday Night on DJNTV. Tonight, Brian, we've got a special show.
Yes, we do.
This is going to be kind of a fun night tonight. For those who have not gotten to see the information, because we were kind of hiding it until later today, take us kind of through what we're going to be doing tonight.
We're going to be talking about our dear friend, Jimmy DePalma. This is a tribute to him, a spotlight. He is part of our family, and it's time to recognize Jimmy tonight.
And for those of you who don't know, Jimmy has been in the chill room. He's been on numerous shows. Started back with DJNTV back in 2015. And he's been our graphics guy. Not only was he doing informational videos with us, but he's also been the one who's done a lot of the cool graphics. You know, the ones you're seeing below us right now, those are all Jimmy DePalma graphics. So,
yes, they are.
And
I have to apologize to everyone here because Jimmy's kind of my fault.
well, there is.
I don't know how else to say it, but yeah, I can tell you the story real quick. Going back probably, I think it was 10 years ago, I decided that I was going to redo all of my website and stuff. And I really wanted to do some kind of logo because I didn't have a logo of any kind.
Sure.
And years ago, I had written my name, my initials that I used to sign, BSR, in cursive on a whiteboard that I kept. And I posted it on Facebook. And I thought maybe, one of my graphic people that I knew would probably just say, "Hey, I'll take care of it." I'm like, I'm looking for a graphic designer to take this scribble that I made and turn it into something that looks cool. And there was this guy that popped up in my comments, making real smart ass comments all the time, who popped in and was like, "I'll do it." I'm like, this guy's an idiot. He's not going to be able to handle this. Like, yeah, whatever, thanks. And I swear, minutes later, I get a message with the coolest rendering of my initials. And I'm like, oh my gosh. He's like, do you like it? I'm like, I love it. Then he sends me like 5 more. Oh, here's one for YouTube. Oh, here's one for Facebook. Here's one at this size. Here's one at that size. I'm like, okay, there's something I don't know about this guy. Maybe I better get to know him. And we got to know each other very well. And then when you had said that you wanted to get some graphics work done, I'm like, I got a guy.
Right.
And I think that's kind of where it started.
Yeah, that it did. And he was working on some of our ad things at first and a couple of the behind the scenes, the lower third, what have you, because we started DJNTV in 2014 and he had been working with graphics. And then in 2015, he started doing pretty much all of the thumbnails or most of the thumbnails for the shows and things. So we kept him
you got
busy.
to appreciate the thumbnail or the profile picture he had on Facebook at the time. It was probably 30 years old. He's got his arms folded. Looks like a real jerk with a real look on his face. I'm like, oh my God. Oh my God, this guy, he looks like just an a-hole. But we love him. He's a brother. Mm-hmm. I talk to him more than I talk to my real brother, who I talk to often, but I still talk to Jimmy more.
Right.
He's just a dear friend, and I just love him.
And tonight we've got a lot of guests that are off camera right now that'll be coming in and kind of sharing some stories and some memories of Jimmy. Jimmy's watching this also. After we're done with tonight's show, there's going to be the DJNTV.com/chill. There's going to be a chill room session, which will be more memories shared. And I think Jimmy's going to jump in and chat tonight with that. And then tomorrow night, Brian, I think you and Jay and Jimmy are going to do a special show Tuesday night. So looking forward to that.
Jimmy's been invited for tomorrow, so we can do whatever. We can just talk about whatever. I haven't come up with a topic, but he'll be with us tomorrow if he'd like.
Yeah. And if you guys would like to find out a little bit more information about what's going on with things, down in the description of this video, there's a little information, and you can click a link there going out to a GoFundMe page, and there's more information there that was put up by a lifelong friend of Jimmy's that put that together. So you guys can go check out that, and that'll kind of bring you up to speed if you're not familiar with what's been going on with Jimmy recently. So that's the backside. Let's get things going. I think we're ready to roll.
Let's do it.
Who do you have on the agenda first for us, Sir Brian?
Let's bring in the Sith Lord.
The Sith Lord. So our first guest to join us will be Ben Stowe here tonight. A lot of you have watched the Tuesday Night with Ben Stowe. Initially, when we did the show, we were, again, graphics-wise, it would be, taking a screenshot of what Ben and I were doing. But then Jimmy started to do some graphics for us. And over the years, he's gotten to know Ben with a variety of different things. But, the graphics side is going to be kind of an interesting tale from Ben.
Yeah, he's got it out for you, Ben.
I mean, first of all, I got to say, I was so honored to even be a part of this, to be able to be a part of a show like this. And I thought long and hard, which is something rare because normally I don't ever prepare for anything I'm doing for John. So, I thought
there is that.
I thought long and hard, and I thought, what do you say? Not only about somebody like Jimmy, but to somebody like Jimmy, because I think this is serving both of those purposes, right? This is a chance for us to share thoughts and memories of our friend with the world and to document those for posterity. But it's also a chance for us to say goodbye.
Well, I think really what we want to do here is talk about how he's kind of punked you. And I
do. I just wanted to, before I get into the graphics, I just wanted to say that I don't, good news, bad news, I couldn't come up with anything. I thought, how do you prepare for something like this? I don't even know. So I'm going to go back to what I've done for the last 7 years on DJNTV, and I'm going to completely wing it. So
there you go. There you go. But yeah, we're not saying goodbye yet. Man's still here. We're just doing a nice tribute and thank you to our friend. And I thought it'd be fun to just tell some stories and talk about some of the things that we've had experiences with here in our family here at DJNTV with Jimmy. And the one thing that came to mind was, I know that he has a lot of fun with your graphic.
He does, and that was the thing that I wanted to share so much. With the world and with Jimmy. Jimmy, I just got to tell you, that has been probably the highlight of my week for the past 6 years, has been to see what you will do with this headshot. I had a professional headshot taken, 20 years ago. It looked like I was 12,
Yeah.
pre-COVID.
You look like you're 14 now.
Well, that's because I finally had to shave just so I looked young again. But anyway, it was, one picture with a blue shirt and I think a yellow tie or something. I don't even remember, but it never looked like that. So let me just share a few examples.
Please do.
This is probably the best looking one, honestly. 'Cause you can't see me, so that's probably the kindest thing he could have done for me. But I don't even know what that's all about. So, like Jimmy, I just want to ask you, what is it like to live in your head? Like
like Ronald McDonald meets Ben. I love it.
Moving on. Yeah, this one almost got me beat up. People are like, anyway, I don't know, but and.
Oh my gosh. Here we go.
I know, right? By the way, that's not what the beard looked like. You just go look at some past episodes if you don't know what the beard looked like. I couldn't grow that beard if I tried. I now know what I'd look like as a superhero, I guess.
Yeah.
And you notice how they
shirt.
shirt.
Oh, that's the one.
Yeah, all three of us look better in this. And this is so funny because this was kind of my vision for, when I was a teenager living in rural South Dakota. I did not picture myself running mixing boards for bands. I pictured myself as like an 80s rock drummer, big poofy blonde hair, because that was in back then, right? That was the thing, right? Everybody wanted to be like, whatever. Anyway, obviously that didn't work out. So
I kind of had that hair, by the way, at one time, long time ago. Different life, different story.
Yeah. We look good as 80s rockers.
Heck yeah.
Of course, they don't have hair anymore either, but
yours is the best, though.
And anyway, let me see if I got any more in here. Oh, yeah, I'm a light bulb now. It's the Sith Lord. I just, honestly, graphic designers. There's two parts to this. There's the ability to mechanically produce a vision, but then there's just the simple fact of having the vision. And that's the one thing that has always impressed me about Jimmy. In addition, I shouldn't say that's the one thing, because what has really impressed me about Jimmy is his heart and what an absolutely kind, devoted servant he is. But professionally speaking, what has impressed me about Jimmy is his ability to just see the world in a different way than the rest of us, and then to make that appear in front of us to help us see that vision, right? So
he's just a talented guy, and just so modest about it too.
And some of these were done with just minutes notice.
Right? So fast.
They were done in the afternoon.
Oh, what's our topic for tonight? And Jimmy's poof. Now Ben looks like, I don't know. The only things, Jimmy, I have a couple minor complaints I'd like to air out. Though.
Here we go. Festivus time. Go.
You were never able to make me look handsome, and that was really the only thing I wanted. But you could have just somehow made me look attractive. That would have been great.
Well, they're boxes.
Kind of like the Fonzie thing he had going there was pretty close.
Yeah, that was yeah. But Jimmy, I just again, I'm so grateful to know you as a friend, to have had you produce our graphics. It was definitely the best part of my show. And certainly the highlight of my week, like I said, just to see what in the world I would look like that day, and just to get to know you a little bit, your heart, your passion. It's really been an honor. So
his wife in the comments said he's got you all fooled, and I think that it's okay.
We'll keep that.
I'll keep the facade.
Yeah, keep the facade. Yeah. So we'd like to keep the facade. So anyway, yeah.
Ben, I want to thank you so much for coming in and sharing a little bit of your time and some of your stories, and especially the graphics. Thank you so much for popping in to join us tonight.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I appreciate it. It was truly an honor. Thanks, Jimmy. We love you, brother.
Thanks, Ben. Yeah, so Brian, what would end up happening on Tuesdays is, or whenever Jimmy would get the information to make the graphics, he would start working on it, and then he would once in a while call with it, and then he'd start cackling when he had his idea, didn't it?
Of course,
especially the more elaborate those were, he had more fun. And there were a couple of them that didn't make the final cut because he had one idea and he starts working on it and he came up with a different idea. But the fun he had putting those together for Ben.
Well, why don't we bring Dan in?
Okay, Dan.
Let's bring Dan in to talk to us.
There we go.
There he is. What's going on, Dan?
Hey guys. Thank you very much for having me as part of tonight as well.
Yeah.
This is a lot of fun. So I want to share my memories of Jimmy because I've got probably three distinct ones that really stand out.
Sure.
The first one I think would be our first DJ Expo chill event outside at the Irish pub.
Yeah.
And Jimmy and Howie and everything really put this together and set us all up. And then all John and myself and Brian and everybody, all we had to do is basically show up. And so Jimmy took care of the sound system and put it outside. Who thinks of an outside event, Atlantic City, that'll be fine. And sure enough, about 3/4 into the night, what happens? It decides it's going to rain. But what I love is the fact that, Jimmy never let anything stop. Everybody kind of rushed to help him and make sure his gear stayed dry and safe from that standpoint. But he never let it stop. He just kept rolling with it and having a lot of fun with it. Yeah. No, he didn't unplug. Everybody else would be like, grab their gear and let's go. And he's like, cover us up. We're good. We're good. And then the second one is very similar to it. Was I don't know if it was the very next year. We were inside this time at Irish pub because of rain again.
Right.
But this time we were smart enough to move inside. And I had kind of forgotten about this moment until Diane Estep posted the pictures just the other day on Facebook. And for those of you that haven't seen it, Diane always takes like 8,000 photos anytime we go to these expos. And she has one where MJ and I are off to the side and we're just arguing about something stupid. It's something about the controller. He's trying to tell me how to use a button. We both have the same controller, but of course I don't use the buttons like he does. And Jimmy's just looking at us like, what the heck are you guys doing? like out of nowhere, just like you're arguing. And yeah. So it's one of those things where he would just, he always has this demeanor that he does, like just knock it off, like just wants to smack you upside the head. So I always appreciated that. And then one that was kind of more personal for me, when COVID happened, shutdowns, everything kind of everybody goes into that shutdown mode. I wanted to do something for a couple of our local schools, and so my idea was to do a virtual prom from my basement and post on Twitch and everything else. But I also kind of knew I had to get something out. And I know I am not a designer in any way, shape, or form. Very similar to what you had said, Ryan. You put something out on Facebook, and out of nowhere, Jimmy hits me up and he's like, I can do it. And, I know what Jimmy's quality is. And I was like, crap, I'm doing this thing for free. I don't know if I can pay him like what he's worth. And that was the deal. And he sent it to me. He's like, what are you envisioning? And I said, well, kind of this idea. And he's like, I got it. Hour later, maybe, he sends us a quality product. And I was like, oh, thank you. But I, what do you want? And he's like, no. He's like, you've got it. He's like, don't worry about it. I sent a couple bucks his way just as an appreciation, because I was like, I know it wasn't what he was worth. But I knew he deserved something because that's the type of guy he is. Like he gives. He is a giver. And for those of you that are kind of watching this tonight, I know some of you know him from the chill room, and I know some of you that are waiting to come on camera. You all have these other sides, but I know there's, besides his talent, which is just amazing. That's one thing that always has stood out about me. He's always this giver, and I really appreciate that about you, Jimmy.
Dan, I want to thank you so much for coming in and sharing your stories with us tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Dan.
Take care.
So I think one of the things that people may not realize is that in a parallel universe, and we can talk about this now because of Marvel, that Jimmy is kind of a foodie and he kind of likes to cook. It's not just it's in depth, using different elements and being sautéing and doing all these different things. Jimmy and I talk a lot, as you and Jimmy do.
Right.
And I'm out walking, trying to get my exercise. And Jimmy's going through this very elaborate, how you make whatever the dish is and how you add these things, and you brown this and you do this and you add this and then you put a layer of this on there, going in incredible detail. And I'm thinking to myself, he DJs, he's a handy guy. He likes to fix things. And then this guy's got this whole side of him of being in a different universe, he's a gourmet chef, type of thing, because he is that kind of a guy with.
Well, in all fairness, he is Italian, so
there is that. Yes, that is true.
It's kind of a prerequisite, I think.
That you know what you got. So who are we up to next, there, Brian?
Well, I thought it would be interesting to bring somebody in who has a story that I wasn't aware of until I briefly heard it yesterday, and I want to hear more. Let's bring in Jimmy Reed.
Okay.
Jimmy J. Rock.
Hello, everybody.
Hey.
How's it going?
I can't complain. Just here to celebrate my brother.
You met Jimmy and have a connection with Jimmy in a way that the rest of us don't. Tell us about that.
So, I was live on Facebook one day, and I'm playing music and talking about technology. And so a little while later, I get a phone call, and it's this guy, James. I'm looking at the phone number. I was like, who's this? Then he said, hey, it's James DePalma, da. And so we started talking. He said, you are a friend of, we have a mutual friend, and it's my buddy Rob. They went to high school together. And so we just started talking and just became instant friends. And so fast forward, Jimmy is one of those guys that he'll just call you at random out of the blue.
Yes, he will.
It will be the phone call that you didn't know you needed, that you really needed to make your day that much better. And so he would call me. I remember this one time we had just started the video stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, Jimmy, I used to do broadcasts, and we started talking about video technology and stuff. Yep. And I was like, we just talked. Then and so he said, what's the name gonna be? I told him the name. I got a logo idea. So he created the logo that we use now. And it's like, when I think about him, I just think about I call him a gentle soul because he's just always just a good guy. You know, it's very seldom that you meet people that who will pick up the phone and call you just to check on you, just to make sure you're good to go and don't want anything in return. And it's like I consider him to be one of the most awesomest people that I've met.
That is so. I didn't know any of this stuff until yesterday, so that's so cool that you guys had that connection.
Yep. And my wife and I, we've been working on a community garden. He created the logo for that as well. So I was like,
Jimmy is everywhere.
Yeah, that he is.
He is. I told my wife, we was talking over the weekend. I said James would be forever a part of what we do.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. As he is here with our DJNTV family. He's just such a part of our and not only us, but our kids and our spouses or significant others. Everybody knows Jimmy. Everybody loves Jimmy.
I always call him my NS7 brother. We both love the Newmark NS7.
Yes, he does.
Hey, Jimmy, Team Newmark.
Jimmy, I thank you so much for coming in and sharing your stories with us today. Really do appreciate it. And I know it means the world to Jimmy.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you much for being on. So Jimmy mentioned, of course, family, and you had talked about that. And Stevie will be on in a little bit. But he's
right there.
Yep. We'll get her up there in a little bit. But Jimmy knew my family. He knew the kids, and he would call, as Jimmy was saying, and ask, hey, how are they doing? The kids were referring to him as Uncle Jimmy because of him checking and asking and knowing what's going on, and knowing that when Brannan was doing his website thing, he spent time on helping him develop that instant DJ request thing. When Michael was in Atlantic City and spinning there at that night when it was with the rain, he's there, and Jimmy's right there, kind of giving him advice and tips and kind of helping and walking him through some things. And he was the kind of person who, when those types of situations, some DJs would be like their head in the clouds and they wouldn't talk to, but Jimmy was very cordial to the kids, even in Vegas, and they love him for that. I mean, they enjoyed that time and to be able to get to know him and such a little bit. So it's just a really a testament to that kind soul that he has, that they will warmed up to him so well and are they know who Uncle Jimmy is. So it's kind of a cool thing.
They do.
That is cool.
Yes, they do, and they talk about Uncle Jimmy.
Yeah, they do. my two older the guys were going to do some videos, and this weekend got away from them, unfortunately. But Michael and Brannan were both wanting to share some stories and things about their experiences. But when you're in college and young people, it seems like life gets away. So
of course.
Yeah.
Yes.
So which direction do you want to go next?
Let's talk to Rachel. Rachel's waiting.
Rachel?
Yes.
Excellent. I think she's in. Perfect. There we are.
There she is.
All right.
Yay.
Hi, everyone.
Hey, kid.
Quick change, too. Quick change.
Nice. Costume change.
That's right. Costume change. Well, I had to wear this in honor of the new piece of artwork that I believe is on the way to me from Jimmy himself. I kind of tweeted a little thing to our good friend Howie because I saw all these things he was drawing, and I'm like, I would kill for something Spider-Man, because everyone knows I'm a huge Spider-Man fan, and we already know the pizza thing, right?
Right.
So lo and behold, within, I literally think it was like 12 hours, like the next morning, I wake up on my newsfeed tagged by Jimmy himself of this incredible Spider-Man drawing hovering over a pizza. Is perfect. I messaged Howie. I said, I don't know if he's like selling these or if he's keeping these or if I can grab it, but I was like, Howie, I need this. And I guess it's on its way to me here. So in honor of pizza, we got some Ninja Turtles here, the superhero thing. That is going to be, it's like literally I already cleared out a spot for it on my wall, like right here. Like it's waiting. It just needs to show up, and I'm so pumped. So his that.
There we go. That's what it is for those out there. You get an idea. But yeah. Incredible.
Like how amazing is that, right?
That is really
Does
neat.
it say Pizza Man?
Pizza fan.
The pizza fan. Pizza
Oh,
fan.
even better.
Yeah. Oh, it's really, really good. Jimmy's been doing some incredible artwork here recently, doing
Yeah.
just using some of going to the old classic style of art.
Daily.
Yeah.
Daily, like regular paints and canvas and paint pens and things. Not the computer stuff, but the what do you call it? Not the computer stuff, but the
It's a lot of it like this style is more like mixed media because I met with
right. He's painting now,
Yeah. He's doing it
like
very.
canvas. Yeah, it's good. Anyway.
Yeah.
And Jimmy, I actually have a little gift coming to you on its way. Hopefully it should be there any day now to kind of help you out with your little artwork projects and stuff like that. Because just keep pumping it out. It just brings me so much joy seeing everything you're doing in my timeline. Like I follow it religiously every day to see what else you've created. Just to be in your head for 5 minutes.
Right.
It'd probably be like a circus, but it'd be amazing. It'd probably be a circus. But so how we kind of met, so I've actually known him for I think 2018 was my first time meeting, and that's actually when I met all of you guys at the first DJNTV
outside. I remember that
outside chill event. And he just was so welcoming, so friendly, right? We had talked on the Facebook a little bit here and there, and he felt like instant family. Frankly, all of you guys do. And I think that speaks to the kind of person he is. I go, what's that saying? Show me your friends and I'll tell you what kind of person you are. Right. Some of you are a little sketchy, but no, I'm just kidding. But in general, good people just emulate good vibes and attract good people. And just Jimmy is just one of those staples of just being a good human being.
It's after a while, you can spot the good guys and the good people, and he's definitely one of them. Absolutely.
So I was going to share this story, but Dan kind of already touched on it. Can you all see my screen here?
Yep. We got it.
This is that infamous moment. We got Jimmy back here. I'm assuming that was Dan next to him right here where my mouse is. All of a sudden it started raining and you have the whole crew just pitching in. I don't know what kind of face I got going on here, but I've never seen a group of people run to the rescue quicker than this. And we held it down, and it was a wonderful evening, and it was awesome. So this was actually the second time I got to see Jimmy in person, and we had a blast that night. So this was that infamous rainstorm we were talking about here.
Yeah, I remember it well.
Yeah. That was something.
My fries got soggy that night. I remember that.
Humid fries are not a good thing.
I had bad fry experience. I remember I ordered the fries, and then as soon as they came, John
started
said,
the show.
"We got to go on the air." I'm like, "Okay." So I go on broadcast. I come back, and my fries are like, there's like this much water in my fry thing.
Yeah,
it was a fun night. We all had fun.
It was a blast. So just in general, he's just someone that just makes you feel comfortable, and his kindness just seeps out of his skin just effortlessly. And you don't know a lot of people like that, right? And you want to treasure people like that and really just thank them for making a world a little better place. And he does. So
well, thank you so much for coming in and sharing your stories with us. And
absolutely.
And I'm looking forward to seeing the full pizza fan thing when it's done. I'm looking forward to it.
It's getting framed, everything.
That's it.
I got a special place on my wall cleared out for it. I am so excited. All right, thanks, guys.
Thanks, Rachel.
Kid.
Thank you. So Jimmy's artwork started, of course, long ago. And one of the stories he likes to tell is when, in his younger days, when he would be out spray painting graffiti on different structures.
Yeah. Commissioned, of course.
Yes, completely commissioned. And then he talks about the escapes he made on those times when, he was maybe not quite getting the proper authority to do what he was doing. But Yeah. So for those of you
do
who
we know where that all took place?
I think it was up in the Utica area is where he
Unica.
Unica.
Okay.
Excuse
If
me.
you know Jimmy, you know where he's from. He's from Unica.
Yeah. He
He will
was,
tell you. He will show you Google Maps of it.
Yes.
He will give you tours of the whole town.
and
if they should have a picture of Jimmy when you drive into Unica. It should be a picture of Jimmy because he is like their biggest supporter.
But yeah, that's and you can see some of that kind of graffiti artwork coming through in a lot of the things he's working on right now. So
yeah.
He's a very, very talented man.
Absolutely.
Who do we got next?
Well, would you mind if I brought the kid over here?
Yeah, let's do it. Haven't seen Stevie for a while. Come on, Stevie.
Come on over here, kid. She's in the middle of enjoying some snacks right now.
Ah,
So I'm gonna scoot over. Forgive the noise here.
yeah, we're good. We're good.
Okay, so for those of you who don't know the kid, this is my daughter Stevie, and you met Jimmy in Vegas
Yeah.
when we were at the show last time.
Yeah, I did. I kind of joked that it's like the last good memory before the pandemic because it was the last thing we got to do before like the sky fell.
What was so cool was we walked into that main room that we were doing all of our seminars and Howie was setting up lights and Jay was in there testing something, and there were a lot of people in that room doing different things. And we walked in, and I really wasn't paying attention to what she was doing because I was saying hi to everybody and seeing what was going on. We had just gotten in.
I was probably causing trouble.
I turn around and there's shit sitting next to Jimmy. And it's a dialogue, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And she hasn't shut up about him since.
Mm-hmm.
That's Uncle Jimmy.
Yep.
Yeah. And so I decided I was trying to find it. I was running late today. Like I was like, oh no, I came down here late. I was afraid I was making noise. But Uncle Jimmy recently sent me a message. It just said like, never change, perfect the way you are. And I'm someone who's always late, so I'm not going to apologize for it. But I decided since he loves kitties, I wear my kitty shirt. I do what I want.
Mm-hmm.
And my kitty slippers, which I wear as regular shoes because I'm a giant child.
My 24-year-old toddler right here.
Yes. But it's very fitting because, as you mentioned, Jimmy has cats at the house, and his Simon has been a precious little one in his world for a lot of years there.
What does Uncle Jimmy call you?
Sunshine, which is what my grandpa called me, and he's been gone for a few years now. Papa's been gone.
Jimmy didn't know that.
It always just makes me smile when he says that.
Yeah,
Nice.
It's very special when someone calls her that, especially with no knowledge of my father. So
Sure.
that's kind of a big deal.
That would be.
Whenever he says that.
Yeah.
Well, thanks,
Excellent.
kid.
Yeah. Thanks,
Get out
Stevie.
of my way. I'm busy.
Yeah, I know.
Chill. All right.
So we somehow you mentioned Google Maps, and of course Google Maps is something that was mentioned in the chat room. If you talk to Jimmy on the phone, at some point in time he's going to make reference to your street, your house, or something, because Jimmy's kind of a big Google Maps guy, and he takes a pleasure in being able to find and to experience other people's areas. And it's not a weird stalker thing too much, kind of a little bit, but not too much.
Usually.
And okay, so the best story. I mean, he knows where we are up here in Minnesota. So I'm in New York last year, walking down a street, and Jimmy's asking a couple of questions, and I didn't give him a really super specific, but I was talking about this deli on the street, and all of a sudden he's like sends me this screenshot of what the front of the deli, and it's like, what? How do you? I needed to go check my phone. Do I have my tracker on, and he's following my location with it? And of course, when it's like, yeah, that's it, and he laughs because Jimmy is, Mr. Google Maps. He enjoys. He enjoys that a lot.
It's pretty amazing when you think about it. But what Jimmy does, just the way his brain works, is he embraces this technology in ways that a lot of us wouldn't, or wouldn't think to, which is what artists do. And he is an artist.
Very much
with
so.
Everything he does.
Very much so. Who do we have up next?
Oh, God, I hate to do this, but I've got to bring in Jay.
Well, where's that timer?
Yeah, yeah.
And I'll try not to go too long. I have to make some.
Say hi to Uncle Jay.
Up
Say hi to
front.
Uncle Jay real quick.
Hey, Stevie.
Hey, Uncle Jay, don't worry. I'll get like a little what's it called, hourglass or something.
There
Like,
you go.
Okay.
That'll make Dad happy. Yeah, no. I go back as not as long as some, but back in the day of one time asking about graphics and suddenly getting this like Jimmy Spin thing, and we were friends on Facebook. And then the 2018 event, but I think it was a very quick meeting at that one.
Yeah.
But the two things that really stand out for me are the countless hours in the chill room that started right after we hung out in Vegas, where, you know, Jimmy was really proud of how fast that scooter was. And I seem to recall that he almost clipped me because he was really quick to say, look how fast this is. Like, he was kind of all over the casino.
I was trying to flip it. I was trying to flip it. He was talking to Stevie. I jumped on it and was doing laps in the room.
Oh, it was insane. No, it was super quick. He was super happy about it.
Yeah.
But, you know, I've had the pleasure of hanging out with this man in the chill room for, I don't even know how many hours we've been there. And I think the two things that jumped out at me were not only his passion for where he's from, which I completely respect and understand, but his DJ and music knowledge. And then and you hear people talk a lot about, oh, I love this, I love that, I DJ. And I'm very old-fashioned about this. If I haven't seen you, I won't say you're any good. And then I got to see Jimmy play on Twitch, and I was like, oh, wow, like, this kid's the real deal.
Yeah.
But he's not playing music that we collectively are playing. Right. He's deep diving, he's freestyling, he's like, you know, I mean, if you think Jimmy's asleep in the chill room, bring up an old hip-hop reference and then see how quickly Jimmy is like not asleep.
Right.
Because his knowledge, I don't know how to explain it, but he's on a vibe like guys like Joey Blue and Mark Mosley. He's on that kind of like, in certain genres, like he's the encyclopedia.
Mm-hmm. He was also
I've learned from him in that respect and really loved it. One of the stories that really sticks out, and I don't know if Jimmy will remember it, we're in the chill room one night, and all of a sudden Jimmy's like, there's cop cars in the parking lot. And I don't know if you remember this, Brian.
I do.
Okay. He's like, okay, quick, Laura, turn off the lights. Okay, I've turned, and we're talking to him about whatever random crap we're talking about. And the whole time he's giving us updates. Okay, the car pulled in. Okay, it's like 6 cop cars. All right, the guy's running. Oh, he's in the woods. Oh, okay. Jimmy, and we're all like, Jimmy. He's like, don't worry. I'm fine. I'm safe. I got this. And I'm like, okay, cool. But like, Jimmy, like, this could get dangerous. He's like, no, not to worry. And then we have no visual. I think at one point he put up a blurry picture of like police cars in a parking lot. And it was still like, you couldn't tell. Is this going to become one of those YouTube videos where it's his last moments and like we witness this thing? And it went on for a little while, and finally they got the guy, but it was just one of those random things that happened in 2020 that just always imprinted in my head. Because it would be like one conversation about music, then a Google map of, by the way, Brian, Utica.
With a D.
Utica. With a T.
With Utica. Not
Utica.
Utica. Okay.
Yes.
Sorry.
Jimmy made a comment.
He's probably not happy about that.
He spelled it YOU space TICA. So I think he wanted phonetic.
He says it's my accent.
Yes,
it very well could be.
Yes.
You do
Midwestern accent stuff.
Really does throw it off.
Yeah, that Fargo thing is not working.
Tomato.
And, you know, we would just have these nights where you would only get a minute of Jimmy, or you would get, it's midnight for me, and then you'd suddenly see Jimmy come in, and I would hear from Deb or somebody else like, oh, Jimmy just woke up. He's just going to the bathroom. I'm like, what? Like, and then 20 seconds later, like, hey guys, and then he would disappear. And it just became part of what got us through the worst pandemic in our lifetime.
I want to go back a little bit to what you were talking about with the music and the old school freestyle and hip hop. Something that he does talk about a lot that is very interesting to me is when he actually met these people when they were doing club track dates.
Oh yeah.
So you'll bring up the cover girls and go, oh yeah, I took him to Burger King because they were hungry. So we were doing this track date and I brought him in there and this one got a Big Mac and this one got a fillet of fish and then I brought him back and it was all good. It's like,
oh, he's got a great memory for these things. Well, like when he did security and stuff and was doing film sets and all that, and he's got the shots of him like the white polo and he's like flexed. I mean, he's buffed up dude.
Jimmy in the chat, by the way, said to blame my pronunciation.
Blame it on the stroke. Are you getting a pass?
As blame it on the stroke.
All right. Well, you get a pass. Okay, that works. But I've really grown to love him as somebody that I consider to be a brother in the DJ world because of his passion. And I don't care what you're into, but I've always said I love when people love what they do, whether it's working with metal, working with music, working with wood, working with the land. I love that passion. And Jimmy is 110% always shown that his heart is there. And that to me is something to be respected and appreciated. So I consider him a friend, and he has helped me get through a very difficult time. When I did my wife's 24-hour DJ set, it took him 5 seconds to make the lower third. I couldn't make the lower third now if I had to. And it was like, you need a lower third? I'm like, what's a lower third? He's like, down at the bottom, it's going to say what to do and where to give money. I'm like, yeah, can you do that? And like literally,
like,
while we're talking, it's like ting. I'm like, what's this?
Yeah.
Here you go. So I don't think anyone's going to, not argue for his talent and skill, as Rachel said about his drawings have been incredible to watch.
How many people do you know who are that good at that many things?
Not many.
And it's like, I know you're an amazing guitar player and you're an amazing DJ and public speaker. I'll give it to you. But, Jimmy's in these art forms that aren't really that closely related.
Jimmy's an artist.
Yeah.
I think at the core of it, when you say Jimmy, if you said, give me one word to describe him, I would say artist.
Mm-hmm. In every way.
I think his ability to express himself through music, through passion for where he's from. I mean, we can make fun of his ability to jump on Google Maps. But to me, what that says is, this is my passion, and I want to share it and show it to you. To me, his showing us Utica at 4 a.m. and going, this is exactly where the bass player from Huey Lewis and the News got beat up after getting a hot dog from Selma, who ran a hot dog stand in front of this bar that's like, to me, that's the same as drawing.
Because by the way, in the chat, Jimmy's telling me it wasn't Burger King, it was McDonald's.
McDonald's, yes.
Oh, see? Yeah.
Right. He's also
what I would love
photographic memory.
And again, I'm living in a different time capsule, but part of me is really tempted to go out tomorrow and buy a pair of white high top Converse All-Stars and then send them to him and ask if he would just draw.
Oh my gosh, that's a great idea.
Cool.
And then send them back to me.
And then you eBay them for $50,000.
That's ultimately the goal. It's like the Off-White thing at DJ Expo kind of thing. But no, but I think he's that guy. Because I thought of it the other day. I'm like, it'd be cool. Like, forget what everyone else has. Why can't I have something that's individual? But I don't know anyone that can do what he can do.
Mm-hmm.
No.
And it would probably take him like an afternoon. And we don't meet people like that all the time. And I'm glad we're doing this, not as a goodbye, but as a, I don't know if we've all told you that we love you and that you're special to us.
Yeah.
He is an asset to all of us. He is a great friend to all of us.
He really is.
What a wonderful friend to all of us.
Yeah.
And the thing that I will mention, just because we're talking about this, the thing that I feel like is so special about our relationship, one of the things I should say, is that I don't think it's any secret that we have incredibly different political and theological views on things.
Right.
I mean, they couldn't be more different, but none of that matters.
No.
Because we talk about the things that we love. We all have, pretty much, the same type of morals and his family to me.
Right.
So none of that matters. And in today's world, to me, that is special.
No, it is. I mean, I think I have more of a special spot, and not more than you, but more in that I understand my family. My mom's family is all from upstate New York.
Right.
And, you know, I'll just throw it on the table from where I grew up. I grew up in the Irish Catholic world, and he's the Italian Catholic world.
Yeah.
Like, I know a lot of his past just based on the last name. I know that the stuff he did or didn't have to deal with.
Sure.
And especially upstate New York, which will always be home to me, even though I didn't live there, but I was there all the time growing up. Mm-hmm. So I know from that, and I know the way he speaks, he has a good heart. And he has a good soul, and he speaks so highly of his wife.
Yes, he does. And I don't know about you, and I don't want to know, because maybe he's talking smack about me behind my back, but I've never heard him talk smack about anybody.
Nope.
He has a bad word to say about anybody.
No.
Well, maybe one or two people, but
he's
always
a great
in
man.
support of you, though. Always in support of you. Yeah.
Yeah. No, he's a great man. I'm very glad he's in my life, and it's important that, you know, we all stop sometimes and let everyone know that.
Yeah, it is.
And you know,
that's why we're here.
Yep.
This isn't it.
No.
We'll leave it at that. How's that?
Sounds good, Jay.
I want to thank you so much for coming in and
Thanks,
sharing
guys.
your thoughts with us.
Thank you much, Jay.
Thank you.
So, of course, Jimmy's been involved with our lives at a variety of different levels, and personal and the business side. And one of those gifts is his ability to do things digitally. We've been showing the Rachel picture; those were all done, freehand in essence. But this guy, when it comes to Photoshop and doing video editing, he's incredibly gifted. Lori, my wife, she runs a local newspaper here, and when there's, it's basically whenever there's a difficult ad that needs to be done, or somebody sends in a picture and it needs to be cleaned up, and it's like, oh my gosh, I don't have no. She's like, send it to Jimmy. She sends it on down there, and a few minutes later, it comes back and it's all taken care of, and it looks fabulous and such. It's just, some people have that ability to look and just make things look better, and Jimmy has proven that time and time again when it comes
10 years ago, if you would have told me all this, I'd have laughed at your face. There's no way.
That's a funny.
There's no way. But yeah, he's that guy. He's that guy who just jumps in. He's a soldier that way.
Yeah.
He jumps in and just makes things happen.
Yep.
And whether it be the DJ stuff or the art stuff or anything, he's that guy. He's the first guy to reach out. And he's also, to me, he knows when he needs to reach out and when he just needs to leave it alone.
Mm-hmm.
He understands that.
Yeah.
He knows me that well. And I really do appreciate that type of friendship too.
For sure. Yeah.
When it comes to personal matters and things, sometimes, you know what? When he's ready. And I appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
I really do.
Yeah, that he's definitely been that person in a lot of our lives. That's just a fabulous friend with that.
I know the guy who I think has had the most interaction with Jimmy over the past several years has been Howie Darkstar.
Mm-hmm. That he has.
And he is here.
Yeah.
So why don't we go ahead and bring him in?
Look how he's jumping in. There he is.
Hello, everybody.
Hello,
Hey,
Howie.
Well, thank you. Well, there's so many great things and lovely things that have been said about Jimmy. And now the rest of the story. Jimmy is truly a brother. Sometimes we fight like cats and dogs. The next day we're telling each other we love each other.
That's what a brother is.
That's exactly how it is. And I just, the artist part is so true. And I think that's what bonded us together, because we're both artists, and we would work on projects together. And he would actually be doing a graphic and say, "Hey, what do you think?" And I'd be like, "Too much negative space in the upper left-hand corner." You're right, And then conversely, I'm programming a light show. "Jimmy, what do you think?" I think, well, how about if you try a blackout in between each light change. And I'm like, are you kidding? This is already 164 steps. Like, all right.
Yeah.
So I come back 2 hours later and I'm like, what do you think? And I'm surprised too, because he had the eye and
He's got
it
vision
looked,
that way. Yeah.
it looked amazing. I mean, it took a long time to do, but I was like, this is great. It's collaboration. And I have worked on dozens of projects with Jimmy, and we've done weddings together. So would you mind if I showed a 1 minute and 30-second quick slideshow?
Please do.
Yeah,
Please do. Let's do this.
And one of these will be, it will be a repeat, but it bears repeating. And here we go. This is Jimmy as a youngster spinning on vinyl at the club.
We've seen that picture.
Yes.
That looks like he's spinning.
And that's him at JJ's.
I've never seen that picture.
And that's him at one of his home events. That's him on the mic. He's very good on the mic.
Oh, he is.
And that's him posing. And that's that Cheshire grin that he gets when he knows he's knocking it out of the park.
There it is.
That was the first one. And then this came up. So the first thing, then it rains. Then we're all on the bus. The thing is over.
Right.
The shows with John. I've done shows with him as well. Very well received. There he is on his home turf. And here he is with MJ at the Irish pub. And I'm going to be coming up. There's him with MJ
There's the
and
conversation.
Dan.
We were talking about that earlier. Yeah.
Yes. Now, this is up in the Poconos when I needed help. And this is the event I helped him with. Look at, he's got
You're
look,
breakdancing in that one.
See the look on his face? Jimmy is into it. When Jimmy is in the zone, that's his friend Greg Wiggins, Wiggs, that's been helping him. The illustrious Ben Stowe. This was in Vegas. And there you go with Stevie.
There's Stevie. Yep.
You guys are, yep. And there's all of us together. And his wife, of course, the lovely Laura he speaks about. And let me stop share. And
good.
that's the Jimmy I know.
Yeah.
Now, my quick story, which I've timed to 3 minutes, is that he called me in for this big event. I mean, it was high dollar, 5-star place down in North Carolina. I mean, gorgeous, gorgeous. We set up, very elegant, the whole 9 yards. He starts playing cocktail music. Within 2 songs, he has a full dance floor. Full. It was full the whole hour. Now, it's open bar. You would think, oh, they're going to stay at the bar and be... Nope. They wanted to dance. So much so that the venue manager came over at the end of cocktail hour and said, could you please make an announcement that dinner will be served and please take your seats? So Jimmy made the announcement. People went and sat down for a minute until they saw the wait staff bringing out salad. They bum rushed the dance floor again, and it was full again. So, the venue manager's like, oh my God, comes over to the booth. Can you play something slower so that they take their seats? We certainly can. We'll certainly do that for you. So he's putting on things like, Tony Bennett, that sort of thing. Well, as soon as he did that, it was the dancers went one way, and then the couples, there were more of, filled the dance floor.
Yeah, the grandma got up. Yeah.
Oh, they all got up and danced. And what happened was we were like, our eyes got big like this, and we looked at each other, and then we looked over at the venue manager, and she went like this. And we did the same thing. We started laughing. And so I did a high five to Jimmy. Now, Jimmy kept the dance floor filled the entire night, right through dinner, then went into, all the festivities and everything else. And Jimmy gets in a zone. That's why it's Jimmy Spin. And his transitions are perfect. It was just like people were like, okay, oh, that was a great song. They're starting to walk off the dance floor, and then they're on one foot doing the 360 and heading back. Oh, another great song. Could not empty the dance floor no matter what he did. And that is just how he operated. But he had that big smile that was infectious on the people. And when he did that and he saw that those people spin like that, he reached over, he gave me a high five. They saw that. And then everybody started. I've never seen that. I've gotten a few high fives at events. You get that. Everybody's had them. No, people thought, oh, there's, we're so close. They were high-fiving Jimmy all night. If a song they loved came on, I'd make their way up and high five, Jimmy, high five. And it was just, every time I think about that, and this has happened at a few events, but that's him. He's Jimmy Spin when he's behind the platters. And I will always cherish and love that memory as I still do to this day.
Nice.
He's the kind of guy who just, I don't know how to say, but he's like, he really does bring people joy with his art. Like
he does.
He's
with
not
that
trying
smile
to.
of
He
his.
does it. There's a difference.
He does, but he'll give that Cheshire Cat smile right to the people, and they fall for him. They fall instantly in love with the guy.
He's got
like,
a baby face.
How can you not like the guy?
Right. He's got that forever child face of his.
Yeah. And I love you, brother.
Love you too, man. Thank you so much.
Thanks,
and
Howie.
Jimmy, we all love you. We love you dearly, and we're just honored to be able to do this for you tonight. John, we kind of rocked this, man. I mean, I don't want to make this about me or you, but geez.
I think it went really well, and thank everyone for being part of our show tonight. This was absolutely fabulous, and thank you, Jimmy and Laura, for joining us and hanging out. We did share in the chat. There is a GoFundMe set up. If you guys feel so inclined, please go check that out, and you can make a donation if you like with that. Once we're done here, go to DJNTV.com/chill, and there's going to be more talk, and there's going to be a little session recorded during that tonight, so you guys can go and share some if you didn't get a chance to be on the show.
After party,
the after party. Howie runs that on Monday nights, and he's going to have Brian and Jay as guests there, and going to just have a great time of sharing and laughing and doing some things with that, and then tomorrow night they'll be doing another kind of talking more music side on Tuesday nights, the Tuesday night music show that Brian and Jay do each week. So that'll be kind of fun. I wanted to leave with one last thing here, Brian, the one last area that Jimmy has, and we really haven't touched into this area too much. Jimmy was a big one when it came to dreaming up DJ gear, DJ tables, DJ controllers. And one of the things he did at one time is he put together what he considered, he did a mock-up of a DJ controller. Yeah. And we sent this DJ controller picture over to some friends over at InMusic, and they looked at that and they're like, this isn't a current model. No, this is a friend of ours put this together. And from what I was told, that picture did kind of inspired one of their next controllers that came out a couple of years later, because I think this was about 3 or 4 years ago that Jimmy did this.
I didn't know that.
So yeah, they said that mock-up gave them an idea, and they had implemented. Now I don't know what it was, but when I talked to him about it, he's like, "Hey, remember when you sent me that picture? Yeah, we actually, that kind of inspired." So for some of our DJ gear, Jimmy's even had some influence in that world too. So
thanks, John.
Kind of a cool thing. So other than that, I think that's it. I think we're going to wrap this up. And Brian, you guys are headed out to the chill room.
We love you, Jimmy. We love you. Keep spinning. And
love you, Jimmy.
We're going to go ahead and do the after party. Please, everyone's welcome. So everybody come on in. Thank you. Thank you, John, for doing this.
Yep,
and thank you, Jimmy, for all that you do.
All right, everyone, have a great evening. The link for the chill rooms in the comment section down below. Catch you guys later. Bye-bye.